unbeknownst to me, John Wonderland made a video in honor of Vince for us to hear today. But the other amazing thing about it for me is that he's playing a song that had become very, very dear to Vince. He would get up in the morning, and that was a struggle sometimes. But once he was in his wheelchair, he would immediately go to the piano and play this song over and over again. I don't know how much he heard, but I think he felt the vibrations through his finger, and it's a song he knew very, very well. And here is this video of John Wonderland playing this same song on Vincent's French horn. He was the best of teachers, taking complex ideas and making them accessible, and then engaging students in Socratic dialogue. His commitment to peace and nonviolence permeated his research, his teaching, his writing, and his travels. He embraced the world and nurtured hope and understanding. Well, what would Vince wish for all of us? First, did we seek the good, the true, and the beautiful in ourselves, in each other, and in the natural world. Second, to think very critically about the problems of our day, and to work diligently for the common good and our democratic values. And third, to foster a sense of global community on this blue-green planet that we all share.
I first knew Vince when we lived out in Richland County. I'm Steve Browngen, and I live here in Madison now. I met Vince when I learned that there was a course being offered at UW Center on Gandhi and King. I grew up in the civil rights movement. My father marched with Dr. King. I was active in the 60s and 70s. And Jenny and I moved out to Richland County with two other men to have a collective. So we had alternative viewpoints, alternative lifestyle. But being African American out in Richland County was very odd. And I was cast into a deep space, and it was a different space. But when I learned about this course, it also happened at the same time that Jenny and I began to attend Friends meeting for worship as part of a group of individuals out in the Kickapoo Valley area. We call it Kickapoo Valley Friends. So the merging of that growth in my life in my early 20s, and then this guy who was out in the middle of nowhere teaching about Gandhi and King, it seemed to be a moment that was necessary. And it was necessary in a community that also begot somebody who was involved in this project in Mississippi to bring African-American children to the north. And I know Jane was involved with this as well, to be involved in having young people, white young people, going to Mississippi. And we were involved in Chula, Project Self-Help and Awareness with John Kinsman. So there was this merging that happened. And it was necessary at the time. Vince was a necessary person. His words were necessary. His spirit was necessary. He was a gift. He was a gift to us at a time when we were blossoming and we were growing, and he happened at the right time. And ever since then, Vince stayed with us. We were part of Rock Ridge for a little while. And even though I did not see Vince a lot, his ever presence, his necessariness stayed with me my entire time that I knew him and that I know Jane. And he remains to be necessary with us.
Hello, everyone. Bear with me. I'm Sabrina. I'm what Vince called his summertime child. I'm going to read a poem that Vince wrote about me, sharing some of our moments together. And it's called Mississippi Summertime Child. Coming up from down south, Missy Summertime Child, you burst into our lives like a 4th of July. Sparklers training showers of light and laughter a mile wide. A child of light, child of laughter, Mississippi Summertime Child. You had nothing, but yes, you had everything. Bright eyes,
Let the little ones
accept it all,
come unto me,
question all,
unless you become
reached out to all.
as little children.
Once upon Table Rock, high above our green summer sleeping valley, a monarch butterfly landed on your ear, right in the middle of a pool of silence. Your still smile grew intense, and with a gentle, wide-eyed touch, you tamed and quivering flowered creature, causing the world to stop while all the bittersweet beauty of creations lingered.
For an eternal moment, in the shared wonder of the world, you made it all seem so simple, Mississippi child. Giving and receiving love were all part of the same, ever-flowing stream of life. I like to share, you always said. Black face flashing white teeth at glittering Grand Avenue Mall. I remember how you surveyed the overflowing shops and stands with saucer white eyes, and when I gave you a penny for the wishing well, you squeezed it so hard with eyes shut, I thought you might want it all. You did too, but in a very different way. Want it all when you whispered as you tossed, I wish all the kids in the whole wide world have something to eat tonight. I saw you through swimming eyes, Mississippi child, child of light, child of laughter. I saw you swimming in the sea of light suspended in the darkness, night swimming in the sea of God's love.
Sorry about the breakdown, guys. Vince was the only father I ever knew in my life. And he was an amazing grace and presence in my life. And you will forever, ever be my forever father, and I love you. Rest on and rest easy.
Hi, everyone. This is Amelia Kuklovitz. I'm joining from Quito, Ecuador. I am one of the thousands of students from Edgewood College who Vince shaped our hearts and our minds. And I'm proud to say that he was my mentor. When I think back about him, I can clearly see all the opportunities and all the doors that he opened for me and a group of my friends through Model UN and through Amnesty International to really bring me to where I am today. I work in women's economic empowerment, and so I hope that continue to make him proud. To his children, his grandchildren, I just want to let you know that you were very much a part of our lives. He talked to his students constantly about you, and we knew about the comings and goings and the adventures that you were on, and so you're with us as well. And to all the students that that you shaped as your lives. Vince had a cheeky humor about himself, and at some point he decided that I was going to be the Polish princess. As you can see from my last name, Kuklovitz, that's my heritage. And so on my graduation, he gave me this present, a little hanger that says, "It's not easy being a princess." It's been almost 20 years since I graduated from Edgewood. And so that no matter where in the world it's taken me, Vince's gift has been with me, as well as everything that he taught us. So thank you so much.
I'll speak also a voice from Edgewood College and from the Dominican way of life that Vince so well embraced and embodied. I'm Maureen McDonald, also called Sister Mo, Dominican sister, knew Vince at Edgewood the whole time that we were there together. And I would say we were conspirators on behalf of peace and justice and nonviolence. He taught me so much by the way he spoke and lived. And I will always be grateful. And I'm so glad to have continued to know him right till now and beyond now. I have one image I would like to share with you. I don't remember what year this would have been, but when the United States invaded Iraq, I remember meeting Vince in what was then the art gallery at DeRicci Hall on the Edgewood College campus. And the two of us simply, now I'm about 5'1", and you know how tall Vince was. And he just totally embraced me, and we stood there together just crying and mourning this terrible action that had happened that was the opposite of what we wished for the world. It was terrible, but it was also comforting to have that presence of Vince and the power that is in community when people gather and collaborate for peace, conspire for peace, for nonviolence. So I'm so grateful.
In closing, I have something also very special. I have a video of Vincent at his retirement party at Edgewood College reading a poem that he wrote, and it's called My Last Lesson.
To my students and friends when I am gone, there are some few precious things that death cannot destroy. Lies cannot corrupt. Violence cannot defeat. Suffering cannot overwhelm, and money cannot buy. There are, and always have been, some few precious things. What are the names of these things? These precious things. The mighty winds of love, the hunger for justice, the sustaining warmth of simple kindness, the ineffable joy of peace, and the thirst for understanding. There are these few precious things hidden amidst the horror and delusions and suffering of this world. And never let anyone, no matter how high up in status, convince you otherwise, and thereby throw you into the desert of nihilism and despair. Because living deeply shows there really are these eternal, few redeeming things that death cannot destroy, lies cannot corrupt, violence cannot defeat, suffering cannot overwhelm, and money cannot buy. There are some few precious things: love, justice, kindness, peace, understanding, and they save our souls in the infinite waters of God's love. Thank you.